my name is Ellie Maurer, and today we're going to be talking about synovial joints. And we're also going to be accompanied by my roommate and lovely assistant, Lucia. Alright, to start off, we're going to talk about flexion. Flexion is when the angle between the bones decreases, and it happens in the sagittal plane. And then next, we're going to be doing extension, and it is the opposite of flexion, and it's when part of the body, in this case the arm, straightens to the zero or resting position. Next, we're going to be talking about abduction. Abduction is when a bone in the frontal plane, in this instance her arms and her legs, are moving away from the midline or the middle of the body. And then we're going to be talking about adduction, which is the opposite of abduction, and it is the movement in the frontal plane back towards the midline. Next, we're going to be talking about protraction, which is an anterior movement of a body part in the transverse or horizontal plane. In this instance, it is Lucia's shoulders moving forward and her arms moving forward. Next, we're going to be talking about the opposite of protraction, and that is retraction. Retraction, which is a posterior movement, is when your arms is when it retracts and returns to the resting or zero position. And in this instance, Lucia's shoulders are now back and her arms are now at her sides. Next, we're going to be talking about circumduction. Circumduction is the movement of a part of an appendage in a circular motion while the rest remains stationary. In this instance, it is her arm moving in a circular motion while her shoulder is remaining stationary. Next, we're going to be talking about rotation. Rotation is a movement in which a bone spins on its longitudinal axis. In this instance, it is Lucia's arm moving on her elbow joint. Alright. Next, we are going to be talking about supination. And that is a movement of the forearm that turns the palm to face anteriorly. In this instance, the radius and the ulna are parallel to each other. And then next we're going to be talking about pronation, which is the opposite of supination, and that is the movement in which the palm faces posteriorly. In this instance, the radius and the ulna are now shaped like an X with the radius on top of the ulna. Next, we're going to be talking about dorsiflexion, which is a movement in which the toes are elevated or facing upward. Nice. And then lastly, we are talking about plantar flexation, and a movement in which the foot and the toes are facing downward. Alright, that's it for all the synovial joints. Thank you for accompanying me. Goodbye.